Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. This is your host Ram, welcoming you to your Monday edition of the Cricket Happenings. And on this Cricket Happening show, well, what I'm going to share with you, dear friends and subscribers, is India have won the Test series against the West Indies 2-0 as they blanked the West Indies with a 257 run victory today. And as far as the ICC World Test Championships for India, it has really started off on a great note as India have collected 120 points to West Indies having none right now. And also, it was a special moment for the Indian captain Virat Kohli as he became the most successful captain ever for India in test matches as he went on to win his 28 test matches, the Indian captain, thus surpassing or breaking the record of none other than Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the other most successful Indian captain after Saurav Ganguly, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, who had 27 victories as a captain. But Virat Kohli, I think, compared to Mahendra Singh Dhoni, has performed this feat in quite a short period of time. I reckon if you compare it, Dhoni might have played a lot of matches compared to Kohli, but I think Kohli deserves every feather in his cap here. So I'm going to talk about that match, and then we will have a look at some news. The match which is coming, other match that I will be looking at on this cricket show is going to be the second T20, which is coming up between New Zealand and Sri Lanka. It will be a sort of a brief preview on that. But let's head off towards the ground here, Kingston Savannah Park in Jamaica, where I'm going to narrate the tale of the West Indian innings today, that is on the final day, as to what really transpired at the ground. So let's have a look as to what really happened. So the West Indians started off on their overnight score. They had Shamar Brooks in the middle, and there was Darren Bravo. Darren Bravo, as you would remember, was hit on the back of the helmet. His stem guards were thrown away when Jasprit Bumrah got a bouncer to rear up and hit Darren Bravo on the back of his neck, which actually threw the stem guards away. And today, this was the very first time we know about a concussion substitute in Test history, which happened last week when Manas Labuschagne came out in the Ashes series for Stephen Smith after Stephen Smith was hit by a Jofra Archer delivery. And today we saw the second concussion substitute coming in Test history, and this was none other than Jermaine Blackwood, who came as a concussion substitute after Darren Bravo, as I said the previous day, was hit on the helmet, on the neck, I would say, and so he was substituted by a concussion substitute, Jermaine Blackwood. So Shamar Brooks and Jermaine Blackwood were the ones in the middle. In fact, Dan Bravo came in, but he could not carry on. He probably had a bit of a sort of I would say, discomfort. So today it was Solomon. It was, as I said, Blackwood was the one who had Jermaine Blackwood took the place of Darren Bravo, and today we saw they were, as you know, the overnight score. They had lost 4 wickets, and today it was a nice reply by Jermaine Blackwood, and who was the other player? I think, in my opinion, it was Jason Holder. Yes, Jason Holder was the one along with Blackwood. Hetmyer was someone who was out yesterday, if I am right. Yes, he was the last man. In fact, I would say this was. In fact, yeah, they were 2 down. I do remember they were 2 down, and today they lost the Darren Bravo, as I said, retired hurt. And let's have a look at what really happened. So today Campbell was out yesterday. Brathwaite's wicket was also taken yesterday. So yes, it was Brooks in the middle, along with Roston Chase, but did not take long time for Jadeja to send Chase back into the pavilion. This was that ball that Jadeja bowls, which actually squids in. He was trying to defend the delivery, and it was an LBW verdict from the umpire as Chase was gone. LBW ball Jadeja for 12 with 2 boundaries. Hetmyer also did not do much at all. In fact, Hetmyer was not. Hetmyer himself was really in disbelief after playing that stroke. In fact, this was Ishan Sharma bowling a full delivery to Hetmyer. And Hetmyer, as you know, he likes to play his natural game, and that is to really go hard at it. He drove at it, but it was driven straight to the fielder. It was Mayank Agarwal who actually took the catch, and it was all over. I mean, he was specifically placed by Kohli in that particular spot, and that was the place. And as I said, Hetmyer was smiling when he was got out, and he was gone for 1, and the West Indians were 98 for 4 and were in some sorts of trouble. With Blackwood, Blackwood, as I said, the concussion substitute, he was looking good as Jason Holder joined him. In fact, Shamar Brooks was there. Shamar Brooks was the one who was there at the wicket when Chase and Hetmyer were dismissed. Blackwood was the person that Shamar Brooks needed to pilot the innings. And it was a partnership of 61 runs between Jermaine Blackwood, Shamar Brooks. Brooks was very impressive. He played some nice strokes through the covers. He really creamed a few boundaries of the Indian pacers as Shamar Brooks and Blackwood put on some very good runs. But then Bumrah came back for his spell. Bumrah was used in very short spells. Kohli did not give him a long spell. He just used him in 3-over bursts. And Blackwood was the one who was really was really doing his job well. And it was Bumrah who actually forced Blackwood to tentatively poke at a delivery, and it took the edge, and punt behind the stumps did the rest. And that was the end of the Blackwood. But Blackwood, I thought, played well, being the concussion substitute, contributing 38 with 4 boundaries and 1 six. But Shamar Brooks was still there. And then Shamar Brooks, the score at 159 for Fry, but once Blackwood was gone, there was a serious misunderstanding that happened. I would say it was basically Shamar Brooks himself who was responsible for his dismissal, but the fielding was absolutely sensational from the Indian captain. The ball was just pushed past the silly point, and before Shamar Brooks could actually realize, Kohli had sprinted in, grabbed the ball, and in one full motion he had actually thrown the ball, and the ball had hit the target. It had hit the stumps on the bounce, and it was all over. And I'm sure Brooks was not happy. He was really sort of taken aback when that happened, but Kohli was very swift onto the ball, and Shamar Brooks, after making the highest score of the innings, was run out for 50, his maiden 15 Test cricket. So that would really warm the cockles as far as Brooks was concerned. He would be happy that he could make a maiden, but I have to tell you that Brooks really batted very well. He played some very good shots through the cover region. His driving through the covers was perfect, and Brooks contributed 50, which had 9 boundaries in that knock of 50. So good knock from Shamar Brooks. Blackwood was gone, and now it was the West Indian captain at the other end. But all that the West Indian captain was do was to keep playing the strokes, which he did very well. But what a delivery from Jadeja to dismiss Jason Holder. I mean, Jason Holder had no other choice but to get the runs, as he had the tailenders to come. And this was Jadeja actually knocking the stumps of Jason Holder. Jason Holder 39 with 9 boundaries in that knock. He typically played in one-day fashion. Jamar Hamilton, the debutant, was a victim of the bowling of Jadeja. Was caught by Rahul of the bowling of Jadeja for not. It was basically the ball actually spit on the pitch, and it was the end of Jamar Hamilton. Cornwall, the tall batsman, Shami actually came in and cleaned up things, as it was a good catch, beautiful catch taken by Rishabh Pant behind the stumps. It was a catch which was actually going past his left side, but it was a good cling by Pant, one thought, because he leapt and actually picked up the catch. It was an inside edge, and it was not easy. As I said, it's not easy when the batsman gets inside edges for the wicket keeper to go full length and anticipate and take the catch. But I thought Pant did a great job there in picking up that catch. Cornwall was gone for 1. Kemar Roche was a victim of the bowling of Mohammad Shami as well. A similar situation, but this was a much easier catch for Pant, and that was the end of it. And Gabriel was not out or not. In fact, Jason Holder, the West Indian captain, was watching that all happen, and finally he was a victim of the bowling of Jadeja. And finally, the West Indian innings coming to a halt at 210 in the second Test match, thus bringing the series to an end, with India winning the match by 257 runs, getting their second win of the ICC Test Championships, and getting on to 120 points to West Indies now. The bowling figures: Bumrah just had 1 wicket, 11 overs, 5 minutes, 1 for 31. Ishant Sharma, 12 overs, 3 minutes, 2 for 37. Mohammad Shami, 16 overs, 2 minutes, 65 runs and 3 wickets. Ravindra Jadeja made his presence felt, 19.5 overs, 4 minutes, 58 runs and 3 wickets. And Vihari wheeled his arm over for just 3 runs of an over. And Hanuma Vihari, for his 100 and his 50, was rightly named the man of the match. Bumrah proved the ideal choice, but Vihari, because of his batting, clinched the spot in both innings. Probably Bumrah, if he had taken I would say 4 wickets, he would have had a 10 wicket bag, but that was not to be. And Bumrah, as I said, was just used in 3 over short bursts. Probably Kohli wanted to preserve him and keep him fresh. Whatever the case may be, it's all over. India have totally dominated the West Indies in the Test series. It's all done and dusted. Now, as I said, as I promised you, we go on to a brief preview here of the second T20 match, which is coming up tomorrow between the Sri Lankans and the Kiwis. And this match, as you know, the New Zealand have already taken a march over in this T20 series against Sri Lanka by winning the first match yesterday by 5 wickets. So now it would be, the spotlight would definitely be trained on the Sri Lankan batting, and tomorrow there is one man. This match, according to me, the second T20 match, whatever goes on between both the teams tomorrow, irrespective of the outcome, there would be one man and there would be 1 wicket which would be needed, which would put that person into the record books. I would say he would go down in T20 history as the first ever bowler to get on to the 100 wickets number in T20 history. And the man I'm talking about is none other than the Sri Lankan captain Lasith Malinga, who is on 99 wickets in T20, and he just requires that solitary wicket tomorrow, one solitary Kiwi wicket, to go on to become the first ever bowler in T20 history to 100 wickets. And I'm sure that is going to happen tomorrow. Who is going to be the 100th victim for Lasith Malinga? What a bowler Lasith Malinga has been for Sri Lanka. So he would be captaining the side tomorrow. He would hope that on his 100th wicket, Sri Lanka could put it across the Kiwis tomorrow, and then we get on to the real climax in the third T20. And if tomorrow Sri Lanka fails to win this T20, it's all over for Sri Lanka in this T20 series. So Sri Lanka, well, Kushal Mendis had a very good game the other day. Kushal Pereira, one of the, I would say, two dashers opening the batting, Kushal Mendis and Kushal Pereira. Kushal Mendis is someone who can really attune his game to the needs of the game. Kushal Pereira is a real dasher. Avishka Fernando missed yesterday, came down the wicket to the spinner, trying to hoist him over, and it was cleverly bowled. The ball was slipped outside the off stump, and Avishka Fernando was left totally high and dry outside the crease. So Avishka Fernando is still a very, very good, attractive batsman to watch, and Avishka Fernando would be expected tomorrow to deliver the goods. Niroshan Dikwala is another unorthodox batsman coming in at number 2, and then I have Shahan Jayasuriya. They have some very good batting. Dasan Shaka is a hard-hitting all-rounder. Wainindu Hasaranga had a good game with the ball, as he took 2 wickets with his wrist spin. Isru Udana has already shown his big hitting capabilities. As soon as he came, he swung 2 balls into the crowd. And Akila Dhananjaya, the spinner, Lasith Malinga, I've already spoken about, and Kasun Rajita. So we have, as far as Sri Lanka is concerned, I think the team is looking, it's having a very good composition. And Sri Lankans should be expecting tomorrow to really fire against the Kiwis. So as far as New Zealand are concerned, Martin Guptill and Colin Munro will open the batting. Colin Munro collected a duck, and tomorrow he knows for a fact that Lasith Malinga will be gunning for his wicket with that Yorker, and Colin Munro would like to keep that away. Martin Guptill, the New Zealand top order actually caved in yesterday, so they would be expected to put up a much better show tomorrow. So they would expect the New Zealand top order to fire tomorrow. The trio of Martin Guptill, Colin Munro, and Tim Seifert. Colin D. Grandhome and Ross Taylor had a very good game, so they are in some good nick. Daryl Mitchell did his bit. Mitchell Santner, Scott Cullen, the all-rounder, and then the pace of Seth Rance. Tim Southee would captain the side, East Sodhi. But Seth Rance, let me tell you, he was taken to the cleaners 4 overs for 57, and one would expect a much better performance from Seth Rance. It's going to be played in Pallekele, so probably there was a bit of turn in the pitch, as you would remember, so it would be interesting to see what really happens. There's also a bit of forecast for rain, and let's have a look at some statistics here as to what is, as I said, Lasith Malinga is going to become the first bowler to 100 T20 international wickets. Shahid Afridi was the one who held the record with 98. It was broken yesterday, so that is what we are all looking out for. So that is the match which is coming up tomorrow, the second T20 match between the New Zealand and Sri Lanka. And the other news that I can say is that Steve Waugh is back in business for the Australian coaching setup, one could say. And the other news, India A has been doing a wonderful job. India A has been really doing a very good job in South Africa. They have won the third match. They've in fact won the ODI series against the South Africa A team. And today we had Manish Pandey making a wonderful score there, and Shivam Dube was another one who pasted the bowling with some 45, some few deliveries as he hit 2 mighty sixes. And Shivam Dube is quite a prospect. He likes to hit the ball hard, high and handsome, and he did it. And I have to say, this India A team has been performing brilliantly. They have been doing a great job. Anrich Nortje, the pace bowler who actually could not make it to his maiden World Cup because of an injury at the last minute, who was replaced by Chris Morris, as you would remember, was clattered for 2 sixes by Shivam Dube towards the end of the game when India went on to win that match. So that is the match situation. That's as far as today's cricket happening show goes. Hope you all love this cricket broadcast, with more to come on my next cricket broadcast, which probably, as I said, nowadays this daily cricket show has lost its tag of the daily cricket show. It has merely remained a cricket show, but as I said, you all can always keep an eye on my Twitter page, on a cricket feature page, and also you can go onto my website at www.cricket-status.com, and you can catch up, and you will know as and when I post any videos on this cricket happenings. But normally on weekends I am definitely here to do the full roundup of the cricket events that happened in whatever possible way I can. And I hope you all loved this broadcast. And tomorrow you can definitely look at me on Twitter and also on my website, hopefully. So, dear fans and subscribers, a pleasure describing the cricket to you today on this broadcast. With more to come as and when it comes. It's your Ram signing off for the day. Thank you.